What's up, Offervault? This is Josh with the Affiliate Marketing Show coming to you with another episode. And as always, we have a very special guest with us today. She's an extremely accomplished individual in the affiliate marketing space, as well as the founder and CEO of MaxWeb Affiliate Network, not to mention a good friend of mine in the affiliate industry. Please help me welcome Anna Gita. Anna, how are you doing?
Hi, guys. Hey, Josh. I'm super excited to be here. Yes, it's no secret. We are friends, but I love what you guys are doing, and I think it's brilliant to offer more information and knowledge to the people, especially now that we're at home. I think it's amazing to just share, right? Just help each other, and I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, well, I've seen you speak at some of the shows, and you always kill it. So I knew right away that I had to have you on as one of my first guests. So I really appreciate you being here as well. So you're with us from Romania, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I'm in Romania now. I was, long story short, I was born and raised here. I moved to the US when I was 19. So I'm more Americanized than I wanna that I would want to admit. Joking, but yeah, with the crazy times right now, I just feel it's a bit safer on this side of the world. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely totally understand that. Well, let's just jump right into it. I know you have a lot of great insight on this industry, and I think our viewers are really going to appreciate this interview. But before we talk about the affiliate space, I'd love to get kind of a background of where you started, where you came from. What were you doing before you were with MaxWeb? And let's go even further back. What were you doing before you were doing affiliate marketing?
That's a really good question, and interesting that I'm so humble about everything we were able to accomplish in just a few years. But just 4 years ago, I knew nothing about affiliate marketing, and this is kind of a testimony that a lot of the new affiliates, maybe some of you guys watching are just getting started, and it's possible to acquire a lot of knowledge fast. 4 years ago, I knew nothing about affiliate marketing. I was working in downtown Los Angeles in the financial district. Great job. I was, working for a Fortune 500 company, but it was just such a typical 9-to-5 job, right? It was great. I felt accomplished, but it definitely wasn't, what I envisioned myself doing. And it just randomly, I learned about affiliate marketing. And as soon as I did, it was just like one of those big light bulbs that you see in cartoons. It's just so much potential, right? So I was like, okay, I want a piece of that, and I want to learn how to do it. So
what were you doing before the financial job? Like any odd or weird jobs that
not weird. I mean, I've always been the nerdy kid, the good graduate with good jobs. So before I lived in California, I was working in Pennsylvania for a hospital. I was running the triage department for a behavioral health clinic. So very different, right? Those leadership skills, you can apply them to any industry, but it was definitely different. I learned
like a lot of people in this space come from very different, industries that have nothing to do with affiliate marketing, but somehow we all ended up here. And just touching on that, so how did MaxWeb come about? You said 4 years ago, you were like, I love this space. I want to get more involved. A light bulb went off. So what was the process, the beginning of MaxWeb? How did you guys get started? And just, kind of walk us through that whole beginning.
Absolutely. So it started as a conversation with my mentor and the brilliant Mike Peters that, a bunch of people probably know in the industry already. I was chatting with him, and we brainstormed what the industry really needs, and we saw a huge need in the space for something like MaxWeb. And I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do it. We're going to create something super cool for both affiliates and advertisers to use, and that's how it really started. It was
the rest is history, as they say.
Exactly.
So let's pretend I actually know nothing about MaxWeb. I'm sure most of our viewers have heard of you guys, but maybe they don't know exactly what you guys focus on. Can you tell them and me as the pretend guy that knows nothing about you a little bit about MaxWeb and what you want the affiliates out there to know about your company?
Yeah, definitely. I always get so excited. It's like Christmas morning when I talk about MaxWeb. It's it's my baby. And what I want people to think about when they hear about MaxWeb, I want the narrative to be, oh, MaxWeb, the really cool, nice guys that help us with everything. That's us. If you don't know what we do, the easiest way to think about it is like a bridge between product owners and affiliates. So we just offer, the best campaigns. The product owners don't really know how to deal with affiliates. Many times they don't want to deal with affiliates. So we do everything. And I want to say, maybe it's not politically correct to say this, but our attention is always more towards affiliates, right? I mean, we love our product owners. We love the partners we work with. We have our own offers too, right? A lot of them. But we always not favorize, but we try to offer a bit more to the affiliates. And I know that was very different in the industry because historically I came to learn that other networks, other agencies were a bit focused on the product owners, right? But affiliates always seem to have been a tiny bit disregarded. So we wanted to change that and make absolutely all the affiliates feel like, we really offer them the white glove service. Even if you make 5 sales a day, not 500, you're going to get a dedicated person on Skype that's going to help you pick a good campaign for your Facebook, for Google, for your email, whatever you're doing. So it's just that. I mean, we're an affiliate network, but we're also an agency because we have our own media buying team as well. So,
and what are some of the campaigns that you guys typically focus on? Like any specific verticals? Do you do everything? Are you only focused on a few?
What our specialty is usually VSLs. That's the video lenders. Those are a specialty. We have those in-house. We create them. The product owners that we work with have that because those work very well for native. So our affiliate partners usually like to run native traffic, paid advertising, media buys, and VSLs are the best, right? It's a bit more expensive to create a VSL than just a text page, but it's brilliant in terms of conversions. So that's the type of funnels we prefer. And as far as the niche, it's definitely health, fitness, and e-com type of offers. Usually health stuff that you would even by yourself, like supplements that, it can be like a turmeric supplement, or it can be just something like a probiotic or stuff like that. But we do like some of the digital offers a lot, like ebooks, because those do really well for Facebook, especially if the information is knowledgeable and good. So, yeah.
Very cool. So here's a little short, quick game I like to play with people on the show. I'm going to say a word, and you're going to say the first word or 2 words that come to mind. Ready?
Ready.
All right. MaxWeb.
Amazing.
All right, cool. That's the game. You killed it. So let's keep moving right along with this interview here. Where do you see the industry going in the next few years? Given the current circumstances of the world and the industry, and where you think it might be 2 or 3 years from now, what should people be focusing on and preparing for?
Yeah, that's such a good question. Honestly, I've seen crazy changes even the last year, the last 6 months. One thing, the industry is always changing. So the only constant in our business is change. That's 100%, accurate. I think the big change that I'm seeing, especially for this year and the years to come, it's a shift to offering a bit more attention to the customer. And I'm saying this because customers are getting smarter. They do a lot of research before they purchase anything, right? So we are used in performance marketing to focus a lot on the ads, on how they look. So maybe a lot of the affiliates have not put a lot of thought into the psychological aspects of how customers think. And that's the big shift that I'm seeing. And all the super affiliates, the partners that do easily 500 sales a day, 100K every couple of days, they really get the customers. Like, they analyze the behavior, they're trying to solve a problem. So you're really not selling a digital book about losing weight. You are selling the dream of feeling better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of feeling healthy, of feeling great. You're not selling a supplement. You are selling the dream of someone that's healthy, that's going to take the supplements and it's going to feel better. Maybe their vision, their, heart is going to be better. So it's really focusing on the customer. I think that's the big trend that everyone needs to get behind, because once more affiliates do, they're going to definitely see an increase in revenues. And it's obviously more work, but it pays out.
Definitely. So what would be some advice that you would give to a brand new affiliate or to a brand new publisher that's just getting started in the industry? What are some things you would recommend they focus on? Maybe some things you recommend that they do not focus on? Just any insight that you can offer on that.
That's a great question. Best advice for you guys just getting started: do your research. It's going to be so important to your career to do research. Go on websites like Offervault. I'm not just saying that, but you need to do your research. Go and see what are the top campaigns. There are numerous forums with super affiliates, with people that love to share the knowledge. Ask a lot of questions. Do your research to pick a good affiliate program. MaxWeb might not be good for you, maybe because you're focusing on gaming offers or mobile ads, but do your research, because the affiliate program you're going to work with, they have to have exclusive offers, so you don't compete with a lot of affiliates and keep getting rebrokered, so you get paid less. Make sure they pay you on time. That's key. And it's enough to ask questions in a few forums to figure out, who's good about that. And try to stick, especially in the beginning, with one source, right? Once you are, if you're really good at Facebook, then it's awesome for you to try and learn maybe GDN or Gemini, email, whatever. But in the beginning, just focus, pick one source that you want to do, well on, and focus your resources on that.
Okay. And when a new affiliate is applying to MaxWeb's affiliate program, what are some of the most important qualities that you look for in their application? Things that are really going to help them get approved?
They usually have to have industry references. So even if it's not another network, it's amazing if you have, other affiliate friends, or even if you're referred by someone like Offervault, or, just have some good references so you're not coming out of nowhere per se. We're looking for, affiliates that are trustworthy, and that's very easy to determine. They have to be responsive, right? Mm-hmm. If it's very hard to get them on a quick Skype interview, or, if they don't reply to the emails, that's usually not a good sign for us. And that's how the good affiliate programs work. So we just look for people that are, they have some good references, but also that are responsive. It sounds like something very, easy, but if someone is not responsive, it's usually a red flag. So yeah, be responsive. The account managers really should be your best friends, because it's not going to be, the CEOs or the big leaders that are going to help you. The account managers should be your best friends. So be responsive, talk to them, ask them questions.
Yeah. So basically, if you have to do like any work at all to get them to reply, that's the first sign that they're not really going to be a good fit.
Right. Exactly.
Which I think is important, just in general, living your life, being responsive. One of my main things is I try and get back to people right away. That's why we work so well together.
I know. I love it. You're amazing.
Anytime, you hit me up, I try and get back to you. But I was going to say, anytime I hit you up, like, you respond right away. And that's so refreshing to just have like a solid line of communication. And I think in this industry, especially, like, communication is one of the most important things, especially now that so many people are working from home. Like, you just want to know that you're being heard, and you just want to have confirmation of things and know things are getting done. So I completely agree with that.
100%.
So how does Gita, if I'm saying that right, how does Anna define success?
Oh, that's a good one. For me, success is really um, how much you like yourself. Are you happy with what you accomplished? Because success is different to anyone, right? I think a lot of people are very poor because they only have money.
Mm.
So, it's silly to only think about success in from the perspective of financial stability. So to me, it's how much you like yourself, right? If you're happy with who you are, with how you make the people around you feel, if you're a person that you're just empathic and kind, and just no matter who you deal with in the industry, just try to help a tiny bit. I think that's pretty, you know.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think success is not solely based on money or really based on money at all, but really based on happiness and just your quality of life in general. So I would have to agree 100%. Um, so let's play another little hypothetical here. Let's say you have a gigantic billboard. You could put it on the 101 in LA. I know I know you appreciate that
On the
reference.
PCH next
Right, or
to.
the PCH. Yeah, I don't know the main freeways in Romania, but what have you. Let's say you have a big billboard anywhere and you could put anything on it. What would be on the billboard?
Well, that's easy. I'll just go with one of my life mottos. In a world where you can be anything, be kind.
Love it.
But
Spreading
if you
the
apply, if you apply that to your personal life, to business, it's gonna be fantastic. And believe me, no one is gonna take you for a fool. You can be assertive and hardworking, and hustle for what you want, but just be kind in the process. It's just you're just gonna have so much to gain from that.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in just positive energy and kind of putting that out into the universe is going to find its way back to you. So I think that's a great
And
answer.
it really does. I mean, it's a testimony of how far we've come, and it's just
Hmm.
really true.
That's awesome. Any investments you've made in the past few years that have extremely benefited your life? I mean, this could be a financial investment of a product. It could be an investment of time doing something differently in terms of your day-to-day routine, your mindset. Just something that you've noticed has really benefited your life in the past few years that our viewers might be able to apply to their own lives.
Well, I'm just gonna go with something extremely easy. It's not something financial, but it's something that will just change your life. And it's every morning when you wake up, make your bed.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. I can tell you right now, I don't do that. And I get
It's
yelled
gonna
at.
change your life. It's
I
gonna
get
change your
yelled at
life.
by my wife all the time for it. But I've heard I mean, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but the principle is like start your day off by accomplishing something. And you're like, I made my bed, like, and it just kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day, I guess. Or can you comment a little more on that?
Absolutely, I can. I could write a book about
Yeah, I
this.
bet you could. So yeah,
Huge
please give
nerd,
us
and
some example.
I love the psychological aspects of how we are, as humans, and it's just so important on how we start our day, right? Our mindset, it's incredibly important. So if you start your day and you do something good, you accomplish something, you're getting off like a clean slate, you make your bed, then you're going to clean a bit, that you're going to start organizing your emails, start replying to people. It just slowly changes and sets the tone for a really successful day. So that's the first thing. And the second thing that I always do when I get home, and I really just encourage all of you to try this. When you get home, no matter how crappy you feel, no matter how your day was and how many stressful situations you dealt with, even if it's hard for you to do it, put a big smile on your face when you walk through the door, and you're going to see how the tone is going to change for your spouse, for your partner, for your kids the entire day. It's crazy. It's a small thing, like making your bed or deciding to smile when you get home, but your entire life is just going to get better.
That's awesome. I think that's a great answer. And I think I'm going to try making my bed tomorrow morning just to see how it goes.
Start
Uh,
small, if every
right.
single day just get 1% better, imagine how you're going to be in 365 days.
I think that's awesome. So when you're not working or you're not being a fantastic wife or a fantastic mom, as it sounds like you are, what is something that you like to do on your free time? If there is any time for free time with all the things I mentioned, but what do you like to do when you're not doing any of that stuff?
I like to read. I know, back to the nerd kid. I like to read. Anytime I have some free time, I read. I just last weekend I read Malcolm Gladwell's the book about strangers and how it's very hard for us to communicate with strangers, and it just improved my life, right? By just reading something good. So yeah.
So do you read like any fiction or more just educational, life benefiting, knowledge kind of stuff? What do you focus on?
Malcolm Gladwell is always a good go-to for me because it's like very easy lecture, and it just really helps you change aspects, of your life professionally and personally. So that's what I prefer. But some good fiction is cool too. I don't cook, so I know that would have been a cool answer to tell you that I cook, but I don't at all. So.
Yeah, I've been trying to cook a little for myself. That's like something for me that I feel is like a rewarding thing. Gets me in a better mood and keeps me positive.
So you do more of that.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say you're talking directly to a kid in university or in college. They're getting ready to enter the real world. What would be some advice you would tell them, things they should focus on coming out of school, and maybe some things they should ignore that you maybe learned yourself when you came out of school?
The big one is to really not try to please everyone. It's one of my mentors used to say, I was still in Pennsylvania at the hospital, and he used to say, what other people think of you is none of your business. So once you really think about that, it's really, you're not going to be able to change how other people think of you. So the best advice, and it might take a few years to get there to the point where you don't try to please others. You do the best you can yourself. If you start a new job, you do the best to make sure you're giving 100%, but really don't focus on what other people are going to think about your decisions, because it's just going to put so much negativity in your life. So, stop trying to please everyone, because that's impossible. You do your best 100% with what you're given, and that's enough.
Mm-hmm. So when you're working, you're running MaxWeb, and you're just having a tough day, like you're having trouble focusing, or you just like don't want to do it anymore. Do you have any like tips or tricks in terms of how you get back in the zone and keep powering through?
Yeah, I mean, just like really easy stuff, like, get up, go for a short walk. And now that we're inside, right, you can just do some push-ups or 20 minutes of Pilates. Exercise is amazing, and it really helps. And if you would have asked me 10 years ago, I always thought it was silly when people talk about mindset and how something like exercise and eating is going to change your mindset, but it really does, because it was proven that the factors, the physical factors, and the things that you do really impact your brain's plasticity. So when you feel crappy, if you actually get up, do some exercise, or my favorite, put on some music really loudly and just dance for 10 minutes in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
I promise you, just give it a try. Don't think it's cheesy or silly. Give it a try. It really helps.
I
Or
believe it. You
do
seem
some
to
Legos.
do some Legos. Yeah. Are you like an expert Lego builder? You build like those huge like model Star Wars ships and stuff?
Well, I have a 3-year-old son, so that's how we bond. So I've been doing a lot of Lego building every Sunday. That's our,
That's
fun
your
stuff.
Sunday activity.
Yeah.
Going back to the affiliate space, are there any like recommendations you're hearing people give that you actually disagree with? Maybe I ask this because maybe some affiliates are hearing those recommendations, and maybe this is a good opportunity for you to tell them why they shouldn't be listening to that.
Oh yes, the big one that I keep hearing all the time is the very, very high CPAs. right? That's, of course, it's important to an extent, but that's not the most important for you to make sure that you're going to make a lot of money. The most important is the conversion rate and the EPCs, the earning per clicks. So when you talk to your account managers, or you ask, you talk to a product owner, really, a lot of the people are going to say, well, I offer this crazy high CPA. You have to, it's a no-brainer. You have to run this campaign. But guess what? If you run a campaign, it can be $150 CPA. If you only make 2 sales every day, it's not going to bring you a lot of earnings, right? But if you run a campaign that maybe is going to pay you like $80, $90, but you make 500 sales, imagine how profitable that is. So I've been hearing this a lot on the high CPAs, and I always tell them, it's more important your conversion rate, your APCs. That's how you're going to make a lot of money, and you're going to have financial stability by running really profitable campaigns. So I think that's a really big one.
Awesome. So starting MaxWeb aside and being a mother aside, and I'm setting you up for this next question, those aren't acceptable answers. What's one of your favorite personal achievements so far in your life? It can be before this industry, it can be since you've been in this industry, but I mean, I'm sure starting MaxWeb is one and having your children is another, but those aside, we're accepting those answers. I want a third one. What's your favorite achievement so far?
I ran a marathon. Well,
Oh, wow.
I ran a couple, but the first one was the one that I'm the most, I'm so proud of, was the Hershey Marathon in Pennsylvania. And I remember it to this day. I have my, the diploma and everything they gave me that day. I think that was a huge accomplishment. You still
run marathons, or that was kind of like a one and done thing?
No. I mean, I don't run anymore as much as I used to, just because I work 18 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly.
I would lie if I would say I do. Of course I do, but not to the extent that I could when I was, 20 and just, studying and stuff. But that was amazing. And it really, awesome. It really teaches you so much resilience. Like, being a runner is just incredibly good. Like, it's the best therapy in the world.
That's awesome. Well, Anna, you've been a fantastic guest on the Affiliate Marketing Show. We would obviously love to have you back anytime. But before we let you go, we're going to finish this interview with a little game I like to call the Offervault Hot Seat. Here's how it works, all right? We're going to give you, and this is just for fun, this has nothing to do with affiliate marketing. We're going to give you 5 would you rather questions that will progressively get a little harder and a little more personal as we go. If you don't want to answer, we'll accept pass. That's totally cool. But we would love for you to answer, explain your answer. I'm happy to answer them as well. And if you don't have any questions, let's get started. Sound good?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, cool. Question 1 of the Offervault Hot Seat. Would you rather have the superpower to fly or the superpower to be invisible?
Definitely invisible.
Why?
You could just
spy on everybody.
No, you choose when you don't, when you're in a crowd and it's extremely it's exhausting. You can just choose by yourself. That's very relaxing.
I would have to go with the superpower to fly, just because I've always wanted to fly. I've been skydiving, and I think, instead of falling straight to the ground, if you could go horizontal, that'd be really cool. And just in terms of traveling, like driving, such a pain, if I could just fly to where I need to go, that'd be awesome. Question 2, would you rather have no fingers or no eyes?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I guess no fingers.
I would rather have no fingers as well, because if you don't have any eyes, it's going to be pretty hard to use your fingers anyways, right?
Yeah, and I mean, the beauty of the world. I mean, I was blessed to be able to travel a lot, and it's, I really don't want to give that up, seeing the beauty of the world.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to give my eyes up, because then I wouldn't be able to see how beautiful you are.
Oh, well, you see, the red is working. I love it.
The red is working. For all of you that don't know, red is Anna's color, and she always looks so good no matter what color she's wearing. But we do love the red. Staying on brand. I love it. All right. Question 3 of the Offervault Hot Seat. Would you rather have unlimited love or unlimited money? And I guess this is pretty easy after our conversation.
Definitely love. You
Yeah.
can have all the money in the world and be so
Right.
poor.
Yeah, exactly. I would have to agree. That doesn't even need an explanation. All right, now we're getting a little more personal. Remember, these are just for fun. Would you rather throw up in the middle of the dance floor or in your Uber on the way home from the bar?
The middle of the party. It's
Yeah?
gonna be easier. Yeah, I mean, if you're, you put yourself in that situation, it's you deserve people to make a bit, fun of you, but it's gonna be easier to clean. I mean, think empathically about the poor driver. It's not his
I know.
fault.
I've actually
So-
been in an Uber with someone who's thrown up in the car, and I felt so bad, and like I wasn't even intoxicated, so I was apologizing nonstop for their behavior. I would have to say the middle of the dance floor, but for a different reason. I think you could try and get away with it a little easier. You're dancing, you
It
just
wasn't
duck down
me.
real quick. Yeah, and then you just kind of get out of there real quick. No one sees you. All right, question number 5, and then we will let you go. I know you're a busy woman, so thank you so much for your time. But question number 5, would you rather smell terrible, but you cannot smell it yourself? Or would you rather your partner smell terrible, but you have to smell it all the time?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Take your time.
I guess, I would have to. It's okay if he smells bad. I'll just do stuff, to get used to it.
Right, yeah. So you would rather,
So being very clean. So it would probably, demoralize me too much if I would have to.
I would rather put up with smelling my partner, knowing that I don't smell terrible, because I just wouldn't want to smell terrible everywhere I go. That's not my brand, I want to smell good.
Yeah, I hear you. We're the same, you see?
We're the same. This is why we're good friends, Anna.
You've know.
Been such a great guest. I really would love to have you on the show again. I want to give you one final opportunity to tell our viewers anything you want about you, MaxWeb, your beliefs on life. I'm going to give you the microphone. Go ahead.
Well, you guys, I already, the important stuff is to do your research. It's really easy to find stuff online, in forums, even go on Facebook and type in, the programs that you want to work with, and just make sure you're informed about any decision and what you want to do. That's the only advice, I can give you, because I am 100% certain that, if you start working with us, you're going to love it. But it's very important that you get to that conclusion yourself. And, it's important to just educate yourself, even, personally, but specifically and most importantly in the business world.
Thank you so much. For Anna from MaxWeb, myself, Josh from Offervault, let's make that paper, let's make that dough. This was the Affiliate Marketing Show. See you next time, everybody.